Ukrainian operators have managed to cripple a frontline Russian tank using the US-built Bradley fighting vehicle. A trending video depicts the crew of a Russian T-90M Breakthrough tank experiencing firsthand the formidable firepower unleashed by the Bushmaster M242 25mm automatic cannon mounted on the Bradley fighting vehicle. This is an interesting engagement since not only it shows the capabilities of Bradley, but also showcases the bravery and courage of the crew, who went head-to-head against an MBT. The engagement took place near the town of Stepovoy in Donetsk Oblast. In this video, Defense Updates analyzes how a Ukrainian crew in a Bradley fighting vehicle knocked out a Russian T-90M main battle tank. Let's get into the details. Before we proceed, a word on NordVPN, which is one of the most trusted VPN brands worldwide that has a no-log policy validated by Deloitte, an industry-leading Big Four auditing firm. NordVPN provides an encrypted tunnel that protects your privacy by preventing external entry to your internet traffic, as well as enabling you to access content that's blocked based on geolocation. Best of all, with one NordVPN account, you can secure up to 6 devices at the same time. Get an exclusive NordVPN deal with massive savings by going to nordvpn.com/defense or clicking the link in the description. It's risk-free with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. The Bradley was operated by the 47th Separate Mechanized Brigade. In an interview with the Ukrainian TCH media outlet, the gunner, identified only as Serhiy, explained he just recently returned to Ukraine in December from Bradley training in Germany. Furthermore, the vehicle commander and his driver, Alexander, were only on their second mission together. Serhiy noted that going up against a heavily armed T-90M, Russia's most advanced frontline tank, armed with a 125mm cannon, with the Bradley's 25mm chain gun, was risky. Yes, it was very scary, he said, but I think we did well. Serhiy added, I can't express what it means to see a tank in the sights. In training, I was saying, God forbid I see a tank in the sights. It so happened that I did, and very close. Nevertheless, Serhiy's Bradley stood up when it mattered the most. We fired with all we could, with the Bradley's Bushmaster M242 25mm automatic cannons, armor-piercing rounds. Then there was a problem with those rounds, he said, without going into details. But as I played video games, I remembered everything, both how to hit and where. I could stop him at any cost. Throughout the years, numerous video games have emphasized the importance of targeting specific armored vehicles, particularly tanks, in regions where their armor is least fortified, and or where critical components are more vulnerable. Serhiy stated, due to issues with anti-armor, I started blinding him so he couldn't leave. He achieved a mission kill on the tank by knocking out its optics. The Earl Vagonzavod-designed T-90M is an upgraded version of the T-90 tank, first introduced in the early 1990s as an offshoot of the T-72, featuring improvements in terms of protection, mobility, and firepower. The initial batch of production T-90M tanks were only issued to the 2nd Guards M.I. Kalinin Taman Motor Rifle Division of the 1st Guards Tank Army in the spring of 2020. So it's a pretty new machine. Since the much-hyped, but still not serial-produced T-14 Armata main battle tanks are unavailable for combat duties, the T-90M is currently the most potent Russian tank in service. It has improved armor protection with relict built-in explosive reactive armor, ERA, in place of the previous Contact 5. T-90M features net armor on the lower part of its turret and slat armor at its rear to improve its defenses against rocket-propelled grenades disrupting the fusing of the warhead. The tank also has a countermeasures system, which triggers smoke grenade launchers that can help conceal the vehicle if it's being illuminated by a laser beam. The T-90M features an improved 2A46M4 125mm smoothbore main gun, which has a longer range and is said to be 15 to 20% more accurate than the standard 2A46M gun of the T-90. The gun can fire APFSDS, HE, and HE frag rounds, plus the M9-119 reflex anti-tank guiding missiles that have a range of 5 kilometers or 3.1 miles and can also engage low-flying helicopters. The Bradley Infantry Fighting Vehicle is an armored vehicle that's capable of transporting troops on the battlefield and providing fire support as well as reconnaissance missions. The Bradley has at times been misidentified as a tank, even as military experts and government officials have tried to explain that it's not so. Bradley weighs about 36 tons, which weight around half of the Abrams main battle tank, and significantly less than the T-90, which weighs about 48 tons. As a defense against various munitions, such as certain armor-piercing rounds and rocket-propelled grenades, the Bradley is protected by explosive reactive aluminum armor and steel skirts. It's also equipped with 2 4-barreled smoke grenade launchers for creating defensive smoke screens, which can also be loaded with chaff and flares. The Bradley is armed with a 25mm M242 Bushmaster chain gun and a 7.62mm M240C machine gun. It can also carry multiple TOW anti-tank missiles. The Bushmaster is a single-barrel chain gun with an integrated dual-feed mechanism and remote feed selection. The cannon carries 300 rounds of ammunition in 2 ready boxes that allow a selectable mix of rounds. The tungsten APDST, armor-piercing, discarding sabot with tracer rounds, proved effective in Desert Storm, capable of knocking out many Iraqi vehicles, including several T-55 tanks. A few kills against Iraqi T-72 tanks at close range are reported. The M240C medium machine gun is mounted coaxially to the M242, with 2,200 rounds of 7.62 by 51mm ammunition. T-90M trumps the Bradley in terms of armor and firepower, but in maneuverability, the lighter Bradley can match it in certain terrains. The engagement shows that not only the machines but also the hands operating them play a crucial role. It's important to note that apart from the kinetic effect on the crew of the tank of being hit by a rapid-fire, high-explosive weapon, there is a blinding aspect, since it's like being inside a bell being repeatedly struck. Retired Lieutenant General Mark Hertling, also a former commanding general of U.S. Army Europe, had tweeted sometime back, "The Brad is not a tank, but it can be a tank killer." Hertling, who identified himself as a former Bradley commander, said on social media that the Bradley doesn't have a lot of complicated issues with its engine or turret and is low maintenance. This engagement proves him correct.
Subscribe for more videos like this. Hit the like button if you find the video interesting, and kindly provide your feedback in the comment section. This will help us improve.